Just don't run into a tree.
My cat died yesterday.
Says sure, the world is nearly over, but do you want to go out stinking like a squatty?
Boo, kajuhu.
There's a clothes soaker rusting out there, but it's still working.
Ha, de tottora.
Just think about having clean clothes instantly.
Ketkore lauma ketush.
Claims it's a machine that cleans clothes. Stick them in and presto clino.
Ketkore lauma ketush.
Seems amazed no one's stolen the clothes soaker yet.
Tadaipe baju.
It's such a useful device for saving time, which you're running out of.
Pamai taupo.
Imagine they made machines to do chores for them.
Tadaipe baju.
Says you'd be de-stanking the world. If only you were as tall as a tree. Happy the tree still looks so good, given the state of the world. Let's see. Steel punch. Every little bit helps.
Oi, le tau.
Mystified why you wouldn't give up and have the Pichu help you dig the world's grave. That's a ganote. Easy prey for Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed. Just be glad that beastie let you on. It's the chug yard. If anyone can take it, it's you. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like, well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. You're still aboard your mount, which is probably a good sign. This box once tailed a chugger-chugger. Now it's just off track. Look at that, right in the chug yard. Follow the rails and you'll find all sorts of little treasures scattered all over the place. Who do you think? You're not the first wanderer in these parts. Good work finding that track. They can teach you so much about the world. Keep looking for more. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bomper Bonker's busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. There are places up ahead far worse than this. Half-lifed. More than a flesh wound. Sky's getting darker. terminal. It's hot, hot. And a defeat. Make the most of the night while you can. right where it cuts. Move before it decides to have lunch. Let's see. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Let's see. Yeah, it's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. It carries so much hate, and its insatiable hunger has only increased over the years since it claimed revenge on your parents. He understands history made Lupa Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You are number one.
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll rule the world.
Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seem so centered and so seeking. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. That's what he decided to call it after he saw it for the first time. It's big and fluffy. That's accurate enough. If you can see past the blue color, that is. Nighttime is the better time for lots of things. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Wants to know how much good you think you can actually do in a ruined world. So, says you covered the important things. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Hopes to see you again soon. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. It's so dark out. That's the leftover you're looking for. Take a good look around you. Still feel dizzy? That means you're still alive. All sorts of creepy things live down here. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. Something he devised to salvage valuables from the ground. There are usually spots hidden beneath puddles of oily goo where you can use the net. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find Scripps. Gizmo thinks he's a little peculiar, but very knowledgeable. He has the ins and outs of all monster and creature whereabouts. The grease monkey's mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? The daytime makes it harder for things to sneak up on you. Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. Right way to change altitude. Let's see. Feel like a landed fish? You sound like one. might get a killer headache from this. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. Mount up. A moon could make this a hunter's night.
Botsile. Immo. Diava. Sam.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
Intapadam Fauruzuru.
Says he's a monster haunter. The best you'll ever see.
Dana untiza vela.
Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes.
Silogo Bartinea Fanish.
Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make.
Gira Vabasco.
You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care.
Me.
It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss.
Goga.
Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like.
Lech.
Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot.
Sarevanyad Zab.
Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead.
Waxandonanenya.
Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights, and they keep putting up new ones.
Waxandonanenya.
Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not farther.
Sarevanyad Zab.
But enough of that, right?
Untlum.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
Unklump.
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output.
Sedain Yach.
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short.
Kaffee.
Says he's not sure, but if you're going to haunt something, it seems a waste not to eat it.
Gag.
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster haunter.
Mich.
Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big.
Tudu Baba.
There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Ja.
Says it's not far at all. Fortunately for you, the squips seem to have acclimatized themselves to the otherwise uninhabitable dead zone.